I wonder what Trump and Obama were speaking about at Jimmy Carter's funeral. Looks pretty interesting. Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about President Donald Trump and President Barack Obama speaking at President Jimmy Carter's funeral. Now, they appear to be pretty cordial. There was a lot of smiling and laughing going on. I have no idea what was said. I know we're going to get some lip readers in here. They're going to swear they know what they said. But as far as me, I'm no lip reader, but I know a little bit of body language, and that body language appeared to be pretty good. Now, this is much different than what you may have experienced with your family members at Thanksgiving, Christmas, all that good stuff. You probably had family that don't even want to go to the events, that don't want to go to maybe even the funeral because of some political differences, which is totally crazy. But hey, I understand some just can't get beyond it. However, those at the top, those that really run the show, they can get beyond it. They can look past all that and focus on being able to be cordial, at least for a moment. All right. Now, we got a lot from this funeral because there were quite a bit of interactions. You had Doug Emhoff, Kamala Harris. You had Barack, no Michelle, mysteriously. I'm seeing some rumors talking about, oh, Michelle didn't want to be there because Trump was going to be there. I have no way of verifying that, but she was not there. Mike Pence was there. Al Gore was there. There were quite a few names and faces there. Let's go straight to some clips. Of course, I will link to everything in the box, but you can see what's happening right here. All right. We got Mr. Joe Biden. He looks very happy to be there. Very happy to be there. So you got Joe Biden. I'm seeing Al Gore, Barack Obama. I think that's Slick Willie, Hillary Clinton. They might be on that Ozempic. You know, you got Trump in the back. You got quite a few people here just in this one shot. Now, let's look at what's going on here. Now, I think what we're supposed to see here is Doug Emhoff and Trump. See, Trump's right here on the right, and Doug Emhoff is right in front of him to the right of the screen, but probably to Trump's slight left. Biden delivered a eulogy for Jimmy Carter. Imagine that. Imagine that. Let's see some of this.
You know, we have an obligation to give hate no safe harbor. And to stand up to what my dad used to say is the greatest sin of all, the abuse of power. That's not about being perfect, because none of us are perfect. We're all fallible, but it's about—
Now, am I seeing W looking like he about to be asleep? Okay, getting that good old church sleep. Hey, that church sleep, that's a whole different level of sleep. Okay, mattress discounters, Sleep Number, all these, you know, Sealy Posturepedic don't have nothing on that good old church sleep. Okay, and the thrill of it, because you're trying to sleep without your grandma catching you. But anyway, yeah, he might be getting that good old sleep right there. So shout out to W. And of course you have W. Is that Barbara? Shout out Barbara can't be living. Who is that right there? I think Barbara might have been his mom. But anyway, Laura Bush, perhaps. You got Obama with no Michelle, Trump, Melania. And by the way, Melania looked pretty somber throughout this entire thing because her mom died on January 9th today in 2024, just 1 year ago. So that's going to be pretty heavy. And of course you have, was that Jill Biden right next to Joe off camera? Well, Joe's doing the eulogy. And then you have Kamala and Doug. All righty.
That's not about being perfect, because none of us are perfect. We're all fallible, but it's about—
All right, let's keep going. We got some more to get to. Now, this is Jason Carter. I think this is Jimmy Carter's son, grandson. Y'all let me know who this is, because we all know Jimmy Carter was 100 years old. And I'm not making that up. He was 100 years old. So I don't know if this is his son, grandson, nephew, or some other kind of family member.
As president in the 1970s, as you've heard, he protected more land than any other president in history. 50 years ago, he was a climate warrior who pushed for a world where we conserved energy, limited emissions, and traded our reliance on fossil fuels for expanded renewable sources. And by the way, he cut the deficit, wanted to decriminalize marijuana, deregulated so many industries that he gave us cheap flights and, as you heard, craft beer. Basically, all of those years ago, he was the first millennial. And he could make great playlists, as we've heard as well.
So this is his grandson, all right? Now, it's just a coincidence that they have this waving flag in the background, and I got the same thing. That's a quinky dink. Or maybe they saw my stream and liked it and decided to do it for themselves, but I doubt it. And let's continue. It says Obama and Trump sitting next to each other during the Jimmy Carter funeral. Trump and Obama having a conversation.
Okay, I couldn't see it from the angle I was at. Obama and Trump sitting next to each other, talking to each other there. But President Obama did say hello to Marilyn Quayle and former Vice President Dan Quayle.
Wow, that's such an image there.
That is an image.
It's
I mean,
good.
you don't
Good
see
image.
for it's always striking whenever you see any of these people who were political opponents. Although Obama and Trump never ran against each other here.
And at the end there, you have W coming in, looking real old. But, I mean, look, it must not be that bad. Orange man bad. He's a Nazi, a racist, and lock him up, all this, that, and the third. Meanwhile, they're having the good old conversation, smiling and everything else. Chilling. So, you know, he must not be that bad. And if he is, I can't tell. Now, here's more. They talked for a while because I was looking at some of the timestamps you see right here at the bottom right-hand corner. I was looking at some of the timestamps. They were speaking for minutes. They were speaking.
Most of them were in the same room. Was in 2018 at the funeral of George H.W. Bush. President Trump was in office then. One person missing from this is Michelle Obama.
And as you heard at the end, they said Michelle Obama is missing. But you can see, you know, Obama, big smile, showing all the teeth, all the pearly whites. Orange man bad though, right? Okay, cool. Now we have Trump and Pence shaking hands. They said this is the first time that Trump has seen Mike Pence since J6 2021. That's what they say. I'm not quite sure if that's true or not. So let's check. And I think Al Gore is also in this picture.
As well, there is Donald Trump and Mike Pence.
So there goes Al Gore, the father of the internet, the captain of climate change.
Al Gore, the former vice president.
Small delay between Al Gore's handshake being done, Mike Pence ending up, and then Trump shaking Mike Pence saying small delay, like a fraction of a second, but it was a noticeable small delay.
Pence and.
But the hands are still shaking regardless. Hey, you know what I see when I see that? Some might not like that. Some may say, how dare he? He's a turncoat traitor. All I see are two men being cordial in this moment and being respectful toward one another, regardless of what their past differences may be. So I salute them for that.
Trump, it's the first time they've seen each other since January 2021.
And then Melania shook his hand as well. Very good. I like that.
2021, a lot of.
Now, one thing people wanted to mention was Karen Pence, Mike Pence's wife, did not get up shaking anybody's hand. That's not necessarily abnormal. That's kind of regular because when Barack Obama sat down and started talking to Trump, he wasn't talking to Melania, leaving Melania alone. Usually guys' wives, you just leave them alone and that's pretty much it. Unless the husband gives you the opening, you know, but beyond that, you leave her alone. That's usually how that goes. So I don't think she was wrong for sitting down. Because it should be the men that shake hands and be respectful, leaving the women alone.
Tension between the two then, and it didn't look particularly warm just now, one might observe. As well.
It didn't look super warm, but it didn't look cold. I saw a level of respect there, mutual respect. Now, speaking about not a warm greeting, they hate Kamala. They hate her a lot. Here is Joe and Jill coming in.
Started the year as the would-be Democratic presidential nominee, and we all know what happened after that.
Wow, talk about icy, cold shoulder, literally cold shoulder, doing all this. Did you see that? She turned her shoulder. Look, hold on. I'm going to show you again. As Jill Biden sits down.
Would-be Democratic presidential nominee, and we all know what happened.
Look, see that? The movement right there with the shoulder.
After that, again, you didn't see a particularly warm greeting between the first couple and the second couple, but again, we are at a funeral, so one has to take that into account when trying to read the body language.
No handshake, no eye contact, no nothing. I'm going to just sit down and just act like I ain't even see y'all. You've been our vice president for the past 4 years in the White House with us, but we're not even going to acknowledge you right there. And you're still the vice president right now. I'm not even going to acknowledge you. No handshake, no hello, no wave, no nothing. I'm going to just sit right by you and say nothing. It did the same thing earlier. I think right around the time where Trump got elected, it did the same thing. Came out to an event, didn't say a word to Kamala. Now we have Kamala observing Trump and Obama speaking. So nobody's coming to speak to Kamala. Nobody. Everybody shaking Trump's hand. Trump was able to get a handshake from Al Gore, Mike Pence, probably Slick Willie, Hillary Clinton, everybody. But nobody's speaking to Kamala. I almost feel bad for her. Almost. But knowing what she did, knowing that she's voluntarily trying to subvert this nation, I'm cool. I don't really feel, hey, how Hillary Clinton say, I don't feel no ways tired. But as I close, I want to say this. Shout out to Trump. I think people really like Trump in D.C., but they also like the D.C. people that have been there for a long time. The elites, the deep state, whoever you want to call, they like them as well. I'm going to tell you who they don't like, regardless of whether she's part of the deep state, D.C. elite, is Kamala Harris. They don't like her. They think she's lazy. They think she's a drunk. And they think that she is incompetent. And they think that she probably shouldn't even be in the midst of this group. So whenever they get a chance, they're going to disrespect her in public, give her the cold shoulder. Look, cold shoulder, not going to say anything to her, not going to speak positively of her and her rival. They're going to speak to him with a lot of respect, a lot of love. That's just how it is. And I don't think she likes that too much, but hey, what are you going to do? And I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your opinion about the Jimmy Carter funeral? Did you notice anything that I didn't notice as far as the body language between Trump and this person and Kamala and Joe and everybody else? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. It's pretty clear who likes who, who's on the same page with who, and how some of these relationships that you think are really, really strained and they hate each other aren't quite that bad. We see that they hate Kamala. That's universal, left and right. They both hate Kamala. But the majority of everyone loves Trump and they respect him. How can you not respect him? Even if you don't like him, you don't love him, how can you not respect him? I mean, becoming the president twice with a 4-year break in the middle, that's like unheard of. Has it ever happened before in this country? I don't know. But it is a tremendous feat. And he's done quite a bit of positive things while being the president. So you got to respect it. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.